Alhamdulillah, we're back after the break, and last time before the break we discussed some attributes and we talked about the history of the holy staff of Sayiduna Musa alayhi salam. So taking a quick recap again, we got to know that the staff was brought to the land, to the earth by Sayyiduna Adam alayhi salam from Jannah, and then it got passed down to one prophet after the other, and then finally reached to Sayyiduna Shu'aib alayhi salam, who gave it to Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam. And then we got to know different uses of the staff that Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam had, and then we got to know about the miracle that when the magicians threw their sticks and their ropes on the ground, which became snakes, then when Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam casted down his holy staff, it became a serpent and swallowed up all of the fabrications that were made by the magicians. So after that, as I said, that we're going to discuss more miracles in this session. So as we heard the first miracle, that the staff became a serpent and swallowed up all the other snakes, the second miracle mentioned is, as we already discussed, that Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam kept preaching Pharaoh about the true path, right? And Pharaoh never believed him. Pharaoh made absurd accusations on Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam that he's a magician, he's not a prophet, and stuff like that. So Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam, as I said, kept showing him signs and miracles that indeed he's a prophet of Allah, but Pharaoh never believed. The people of Bani Israel, as a result, they dissociated themselves totally with Pharaoh, right? They said, we have nothing to do with this guy because he is a barbaric king, he's atrocious, and he is very mean, and he's very evil. He is claiming to be God, and we know that the act that is disliked, that is most disliked by Allah Azza wa Jal, is shirk, and this guy was the source of shirk. So the Bani Israel knew that sooner or later this person will be, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will impose torment upon this person, so it's better to cut all ties with him. So people, they dissociated with Pharaoh totally, and as a result Pharaoh started his oppression upon these people. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam to migrate away from Egypt along with all the people of Bani Israel. So Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, along with all the people, he started to migrate away from Egypt that night. When Pharaoh got to know that these people are running away, they're fleeing the land, he mobilized all of his army to arrest these people who were running away. So when the people of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, they saw the army of Pharaoh, they got scared. They screamed because there was nowhere to go now, because in front of them there was a river, Nile, right? The river Nile was in front of them, and behind them was the army of Pharaoh who was there to arrest them. So there was nowhere to go. They were just panicking, and Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam told them to relax. He consoled them. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam to strike his blessed staff on the river. So that's what Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam did. The moment Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam struck the river with his staff, there were 12 roads that developed between the river, right? 12 roads, because there were 12 tribes of Bani Israel, so one road for each tribe. So these people of Bani Israel, they crossed the river through these roads, right? And they got to the other side. When Pharaoh saw that there are roads developing in between the river, he decided to cross the river using those roads as well. But when Pharaoh started crossing the river through these roads, as he got onto the center of the river, the tidal waves, they engulfed the entire road, and Pharaoh, along with his army, was drowned. So that was the miracle of the staff, that when Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam struck the river with his staff, there were 12 roads that were developed in the middle of the river, and his people crossed the river and got to the other side. And this event is also mentioned in the Holy Quran in Surah Ash-Shura, ayah 61 through 67. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَلَمَّا تَرَى الْجَمَعَانِ قَالَ أَصْحَابُ مُوسَى إِنَّا لَمُدْرَكُونَ. And when the two groups saw each other, those with Musa said, they have captured us. قَالَ كَلَّا. Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam said, not so. إِنَّ مَعِيَ رَبِّي سَيَهْدِينَ. Indeed, my Lord is with me, He will now show me the way. فَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَى مُوسَى And we sent down the divine revelation to Musa. Anidrib, that strike. Anidrib bi'asaka al-bahr, that strike the sea with your staff. فانفلق فكان كل فرق كالطود العظيم. Thereupon the sea parted, so each part became like a huge mountain. وأزلفنا ثم الآخرين, and we brought the others close to that place. وأنجينا موسى ومن معه أجمعين, and we saved Musa and all those with him. ثم أغرقنا الآخرين, then drowned the others. إن في ذلك لآية, indeed in this is necessarily a sign. وما كان أكثرهم مؤمنين, and most of them were not believers. So that was the second miracle we discussed, that Sayiduna Musa alayhi salam, when he struck the river with his staff, it became a road. There were 12 roads that developed inside the river, and then the people of Sayiduna Musa alayhi salam crossed the river, and Pharaoh was drowned when he tried to cross the river himself. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that this is a big sign, right? This is a sign for the people, but they were not believers. So that was the second miracle that we discussed. Another miracle of the staff of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam was that there was a nation called Amalika, right? These people were the worst of unbelievers. They took over the land of Bani Israel. They invaded it. So when Pharaoh and his people drowned, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam to fight the people of Amalika and get the land back, because that was the only way to get the land back, right? To fight for it. So Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam gathered an army of 600,000 people from the people of Bani Israel to fight the nation of Amalika and get the land back. So he mobilized an army of 600,000 people, and they marched towards the land of Amalika. When these 600,000 people saw the strong and ferocious warriors of Amalika, they got scared, and they ditched the army and they ran away. They fled, right? And as we know that wars don't happen in residential or commercial areas, they happen outside the city in plains. So these people, when they ran away, they didn't go into the city, they were wandering in the plains, right? And Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam was with them. These people became restless due to thirst and hunger, because there was nothing to eat, there was nothing to drink, right? There was no sign of water. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descended man and salwa for them. We will discuss the details of man and salwa in later chapters, in later sessions, but for now let's just know that man and salwa was a type of meal that was descended by Allah to these people. So these people, when they ate man and salwa, they became thirsty, because when you eat something, you get thirsty. But there was nothing to drink over there. There was no sign of water. There was no well. There was no river. There was no spring over there. So they did not know how to drink water. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam to strike a stone with his staff. And when he did, 12 springs gushed from that stone. 12, because one for each tribe. There were 12 tribes of Bani Israel. So 12 springs emerged from that rock. And everyone drank from these springs, and not only themselves, they also fed their cattle, right? For 40 years, because they were wandering in that plains for 40 years, and so they drank from that very rock, from those springs for 40 years. So Quran describes this miracle in Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayah 60. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِذِ اسْتَسْقَى مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ فَقُلْنَا اضْرِبْ بِعَصَاكَ الْحَجَرَ. And when Musa asked for water for his people, we said, strike this rock with your staff. فَانْفَجَرَتْ مِنْهُ اثْنَتَ عَشَرَةَ عَيْنًا. Straight away, 12 springs gushed forth from it. قَدْ عَلِمَ كُلُّ أُنَاسٍ مَشْرَبَهُمْ. Each group recognized its drinking place. So everybody knew where to drink from when Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam struck the rock with his staff. So these were the miracles exhibited by the staff of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. However, there is one more miracle that we will mention which is somewhat related, right? Because as I said, that there were a lot of miracles of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. Some of them were with the asa, with the staff, and others were not with the asa, because there were a lot of miracles of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam by himself. So that is why we will mention the miracle of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, which was not done with an asa. So along with the miracle of the staff, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam with another miracle, It is known as the miracle of the glowing hand. In Arabic we call it Yad Bayda. Yad means hand and Bayda means glowing or crystal white. So whenever Sayiduna Musa alayhi salam would put his hand into the neck of his blessed shirt, and when he took it out, his hand would start glowing, right? Yad Bayda. And then when he put it back in the neck of his shirt, and then when he took it back out, the hand restored to its original position, to its original color. So that is the miracle that Sayiduna Musa alayhi salam had. The Holy Quran mentions this event repeatedly in different surah, but let's just talk about one surah that Quran mentions this event in. In Surah Taha, ayah 22 to 23, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَدْمُمْ يَدَكَ إِلَى جَنَاحِكَ تَخْرُجْ بَيْضَاء. And join your hand with your arm. It will come out crystal white. مِنْ غَيْرِ سُوءٍ آيَةً أُخْرى. Not due to any illness. It is one more sign. لِنُرِيَكَ مِنْ آيَاتِنَا الْكُبْرَى. That we may show you our great signs. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that when Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam did this, the hand came out crystal white, not because of any illness, min ghayri su, it was not due to anything wrong, but it was because it was a sign. It was a big sign. And this miracle was bestowed on Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam so that Allah may show the people that he is the true prophet of Allah and to believe in him. So this, as I said, this unique miracle is known as Yad Bayda. And Sayyiduna Ibn Abbas, who was the best of the Mufassirin from the Sahaba, he says that during day and night, the light that radiated from the hand of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam was just like the light that is radiated from the sun. This was the intensity of the glowingness of the glow of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam's hand, that it radiated light just like the sun. So these were the miracles that we discussed today. Let's take a quick recap. The first miracle that we discussed was of the serpent that swallowed up all the snakes. The second one we discussed was that when Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam hit the rock with his staff, there were 12 springs that emerged from it, and everyone drank from those springs. And the last one we discussed today, the last miracle we discussed today, was that when Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam put his blessed hand in his shirt, and when he took it out, his hands started glowing. So these were the miracles that we discussed today. So with that, I would like to end this session, and I would pray to Allah that may Allah give us the knowledge of the Quran, and may Allah make us from those who are forgiven without accountability. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.